Hi, my name is Róża. I'm campus ambassador at PwC, and today I'll have the pleasure to talk with Gabi about inclusion and diversity. So, firstly, what inclusion and diversity means to you?
Hi, Róża. Well, what means diversity for me? Let's start with that one. It means, if I go to the core of what to be a human being means. So from my perspective, each human being is a complete different world. So each of us is completely different from different perspectives, right? We're talking about ethnicity, religion, background, education, skin colors, body shape, etc., etc. So diversity will be all of those differences cohabiting together, right? Living together. And inclusion, it means, despite such differences, that anyone feels out of somewhere, out of a group, out of a team. Yeah. So inclusion means to feel part of. Yeah. So that's what I think diversity and inclusion is, and that's what we try at PwC to understand as diversity and inclusion. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And my second question is how inclusion looks in your team while you work at PwC, and how many coaches do you have perhaps in your team?
So actually my team, I really love my team in terms of diversity and inclusion. It's like a case study. So basically, coming back to the first question, let's think about diversity a little bit beyond countries, okay? So, but I will start with that one because we have 20 people in my team. I'm handling 20 people. And within those 20 people, we have about 9 countries, I think.
Wow.
So just to give an example, we have like people from Nigeria, from India, Uzbekistan. I'm from Chile, half Ecuadorian, Egypt, half Vietnamese. You know, we have Tanzania as well, like Netherlands. We have a really, really like a quite mix of cultures, right? However, that's not the only thing that made us a very diverse team. That's also the background of the people. So we have people who study completely different things, who work in different areas in the past. Yeah, we have different ages as well. So we have from 20 to 40 something. Yeah. And obviously that means with everything that I mentioned to you, different religions, different probably even identities. Yeah. So that's a lot. It's a very, very diverse team. I enjoy it a lot because of that. That makes it.
Yeah, that must be interesting working with so many diverse people. And how would you say this diversity influence your working culture with your team and your work in general?
Well, actually makes it, first of all, very interesting to work in, because obviously if you join such a, diverse team, the first thing and the first conversations very often are related to get to know the people, right? To get to know where are you coming from, since when are you living in Poland, for example, the ones which are foreigners. We also have Poles, and Poles within themselves are quite different as well, right? And we have people from, like I said, all over the place. So the conversations are super interesting. And because of different backgrounds as well, like, for example, coffee break. So that's we ended up talking about, I don't know, geopolitics, philosophy, history, a lot of different things. So from like even a social perspective is like, for me, like I said, a case study, super interesting team, super interesting daily experience with them. And that also brings it to different types of communication as well. So each of them is absolutely different. That requires to get to know them, to get to understand how each person communicates. In my case, as a team leader, that's part of my obligations, I would say, right? To understand who is in my team, to get to know them, how do they communicate, how should I communicate to each of them. And that makes it fantastic. That's just from the perspective of the team, right?
Okay, yeah, you mentioned about managing your team. So what are the things you have to consider while working with so diverse team that you don't necessarily have to consider while working with people within the same culture?
Yeah, so particularly what you just mentioned, culture differences. Yeah. So if you have a team, like I said, every team is diverse, even if it is 100% from the same country. In the past, actually, I worked with a team which is, I think everyone was from Poland and one person from Ukraine. In this case, the biggest difference probably cultural differences, yeah, from like religion differences. So some people are celebrating particular holiday while the other ones aren't, right? And that also allows us to understand for what the other ones are passing. So to give an example, if we have Muslims in the team, we know that during Ramadan, most of them must be, fasting. So it means there's a different, I don't know, maybe they will go for lunch with us, but they are not eating, yeah? Yes. Like basic things, let's say. But I think in every team, even if they are not from, like I said, if they are from the same country, still you need to get to know every person, because every person communicates differently. Every person might understand the same message in a different way. Yeah. Lucky me, I'm working mostly face-to-face with them, but sometimes hybrid mode can create even more challenges in terms of like communication, for example, and getting to know your team. Because sometimes online is a bit different, right? If you write a message, it's not the same as like talking to a person face to face. Yeah. But what I need is like what I said, get to know them, get to know how each of them communicate, and understand as well their cultures and for example, religions, etc., etc. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Can you share with us one interesting or perhaps funny story that was caused because of those differences? Or
I don't know if particularly funny, but that was mine. When I just get to Poland, for example, I didn't know that in Poland, when it's your birthday or when you're leaving, you are bringing your cake. So I have this very awkward situation that I was leaving another job, and I was waiting for my cake. Yeah, because in Chile, your colleagues will. I'm from Chile, like, but if your colleagues will bring your cakes and stuff like that. So it was not necessarily funny. Now it's funny, but maybe it was awkward. Like,
yes.
Where is my cake? And they said, where is the cake? And it's, but you should bring the cake. No, you should bring the cake, because in Poland we bring the cake. And finally, obviously, no one brought the cake, and that's an awkward moment. But yeah, so that was my personal understanding of like cultural differences.
Okay, very interesting. So now, if you could tell me, what are the main benefits of working in such diverse teams in terms of projects and clients?
Oh, I love this part actually. So what PwC has as a benefit, for example, to have such a diverse group of people working in this company, it's related to, for example, having a very broad perspective towards the same issue. So let's say your clients have something that you're helping them to work on, to solve, and we should bring solutions, right? And when you have such a diverse team, and I was telling you, let's look at diversity not only as the cultural part, obviously, but backgrounds, experiences, knowledge, even the stages of life you are, etc. So you have absolutely different points of view very often, maybe not different, but broader. And that helps you, and that helps us as PwC to bring broader solutions, options. You have 20 people who can, in my case, let's say, with different backgrounds and experiences, that they will look at the same issue, the same problem, with different eyes. I was mentioning to you, I consider human beings a complete different world, right? So each of them can have different answers and bring, a complementary solution and answer to this. Well, later on, we show to our clients and work with the clients. Now, our clients are also quite diverse, because we work with clients from different countries, from different areas. So having people with this different experience and knowledge also allowed us to be as resilient as possible to whatever client we're working with and whatever project or problem we're trying to solve and working. Yeah. So diversity from this perspective is a huge asset and a huge value that we have. Languages coming to this as well. So we work with different languages very often. And so, everything I'm mentioning to you is just asset and asset and asset and plus that we have. And PwC is huge, has diversity, people feel included, working in a team, and bringing the best possible solution to our clients.
And maybe to conclude our discussion, to our conversation, can you say a few sentences to a person who considers PwC as a workplace or want to join our team?
Yeah, definitely. So if you're planning to come to PwC, you should know that first of all, this is super cool place to work. And you're gonna meet so many amazing people. You're gonna have the experience to work with very diverse teams, with very diverse clients. So you're never going to get bored here. This is really a fantastic place to work on. And yeah, you're very welcome to apply and to join us.
Thank you, Gabi, for the conversation. As you can see, there are a lot of opportunities and benefits from working in diverse teams. At PwC knows a lot about them.